Welcome to another episode of Challenging the Norm, his and hers look at life and business with your host Paul Snell and Lindsey Burden. I'm doing all these actions today. I don't know why. I'm very excited. The podcast for solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, and business owners that want to experience success in their way. Wrestling with the topics that matter and reality checking the latest trends in business. Paul works with business owners, showing them how they can take the stress out of transforming teams into, performance powerhouses that love what they do. It's those two P's, I got confused. While Lindsey offers business coaching that empowers ambitious women to create financial abundance and a time-rich lifestyle. And I am stumbling away, Paul, today, because we're doing something slightly different, aren't we?
We are indeed, Lindsey. This is all a bit of fun, this one.
It certainly is, because we felt, although I think it might have been my suggestion, that it was time to allow people sort of to get to know us a little better and to answer some questions. So I came up with some quick fire questions. I have to take my cardi off, actually. It's all getting a bit hot and bothered already. So I created a list, didn't I, Paul, of questions so that we can, get the listener and watcher can get to know us a little better and find out a little bit more about us. And Paul, I know you haven't said much so far, but can we please start with the first one? Because one of my questions was, what's your favorite joke?
Oh, no. I can give you my favorite joke, Lindsey. And this is where there'll be this no noise. It just be whispers in the wind as I say this joke. And the joke is this. I only know 25 letters in the alphabet. I don't know why.
That's like a proper dad joke.
It is a dad joke.
Dad joke. I like that a lot. There's something about dad jokes, because it doesn't matter how bad they are, they continue to be passed along the line.
Well, they're never out of fashion, are they? By definition, they're a dad joke. So, no expectation. It's that simple. But I really struggles. I know some people remember really long jokes. My dad used to tell a really long joke that went on for about 20 minutes. By then you were bored. But I don't have the memory for these things. They just don't stick. So the dad joke's as close as I get to comedic discussion.
Just reminded me of a joke my dad used to tell, and it was another one of those went on and on and on. It was about a man that was walking through a field, and he thought he was looking for his hat and was in the dark, and he'd lost his hat, and he was picking up what he thought was hat. It was cowpats. I don't know. It just was one of those that just went on and on and on. And sometimes we just ask him to tell us again, just for the sake of telling us again. I might have to lead up to my favorite joke, because I have a few, but they're all from my son, and some of them are a little bit close to the mark. And I'm not sure whether our listeners, viewers are ready for one of my son's jokes. So we might have to come back to that. In the meantime, I'm going to pick a question at random. And for anyone who's not watching, I literally did pick that at random. Oh, what are you thankful for? That's a lovely question.
What am I thankful for? There's lots, isn't there? There's lots to be thankful for. But, and I'm going to avoid getting all a bit more lean and down on this one. But we live in a tough world, and I think it's extra tough for kids. And so for me, I'm really thankful that I've got 4 kids who are healthy, that are doing well, that are navigating all the challenges, and there's been plenty, right? So I'm really thankful for that. I know it sounds a little bit cliche, but my goodness, when I think back what it was like when I was a teenager, all those millions of years ago, there were very few things that I needed to worry about. This day and age is so much. We didn't have the pressures of social media or the expectation of comparison. None of that happened. It was pretty straightforward. And of course, there were things there that you had to be careful of. But nonetheless, I don't know. I feel like I'm really thankful that I've got 4 kids who are pretty well sorted, really.
Yeah, I can really relate to that. And because you're absolutely right. It is a very different world from the one that you and I grew up in. Yeah. And it's so much more challenging and in so many different ways. And I feel a little bit like they have to grow up so much quicker, but yet they're not as mature, I don't think, as when I was their age. And I think that's quite interesting. And I'm sure there are some reasons behind that. But yeah, so I'm with you on that, being grateful for kids that are pretty well-rounded and doing okay.
Yeah.
I'm really grateful this week for my daughter's teachers who took a coach load of kids to Paris. And took them and got them all back safely. And I think
that's an achievement.
That is an achievement.
That's huge.
And it was a busy old time, 4 days. They did the Eiffel Tower, they did a boat trip, they did Euro Disney, you name it, they did it. Wow. And I just think that, you know, our teachers just are pretty incredible people. And I'm not sure, well, actually, I'm not sure I would not take a coach load of children anywhere, let alone to Paris. So I'm very thankful and grateful to the teachers that brought my daughter home safely. And I have just been writing a post actually for LinkedIn, and you got a mention.
Oh, I'm honoured.
I was reflecting back on the year, and I was just saying, you know, what am I celebrating and what am I grateful for? And starting this podcast, I just think too often we don't do things, and yet this is something that I've always had on that wish list. And just sometimes you meet the right person at the right time who says, yeah, go on, we'll do that. And so, yeah, I'm really grateful for and thankful for you, to you, and for having this opportunity to do the podcast, because it's really special to me.
It's a lot of fun, and I appreciate you saying that. But I think also for me, this podcast is, look, you know, I enjoy everything I do, but sometimes I just enjoy the doing, and this is one of those things. I just enjoy the doing, and you know, whatever the outcome is, whatever it sounds like or looks like, I just love it. It's just fun, right? I'd encourage everybody to start a podcast. It's just a lot of fun, and you know, get out there, say what you think, say what you believe, do what you do, be you. You know, this idea of comparison, be you for sure, and just you know, have fun. Isn't that why we do this?
Absolutely. Okay, your turn to choose a question. I can't get my words out today, Paul.
I'm going to choose the question, and I'm going to say, what do we need to know about where you live?
Wow. I live in a city, so that tells you that we have a cathedral, and it happens that ours has the tallest spire. Others might debate that, but that's what it says in all the books, in all the guidebooks. So I'm in Salisbury. We have the cathedral with the tallest spire. I'm about a 30-minute drive from Stonehenge. So now you can see it's getting pretty magical. Before lockdown, we were in our own mini lockdown because of Novichok. So Salisbury Poisonings, the drama, was actually based on a real life story that happened here. But we also have some incredible people. So William Golding, author, I do believe, he was a teacher at the grammar school here. He taught my dad.
Wow.
That's probably not such a well-known fact that he taught my dad. But there you go. So yeah, and there's lots of famous people around here. So Sting, Guy Ritchie.
Wow.
So yeah, few actors. The name has completely escaped me. There's 3 boys, but it'll come back to me in a moment and I'll go, I remember now. But yeah, quite a lot of actors and famous people in the surrounding area. But yeah, Salisbury is pretty special. It's special because of our cathedral, because we're close to Stonehenge, and it feels quite a magical place. And we have an international arts festival that happens on an annual basis.
And I mean, hugely impressive. I'm now worried that I don't have the level of detail you have, but where I live. But nonetheless, the thing, you know, if ever you were going to describe a quintessential English city of old, it would be Salisbury. You know, when you walk through those old cobbled streets, and you see the Elizabethan timber framed houses. It's just as about quintessentially English as you get.
It's
Beautiful, beautiful place.